Oh, it's such a beautiful day down here today. It's going to be a really nice low tide. The sky is blue, it's about 8:15 in the morning, and I've just got down here. The clippers are running, and so there's going to be some wake, but I've just seen something. Here, look. Now, what is that? Let's wait for the wake. Not that we have a lot of choice, of course. See what I'm looking at just down there? What is that? Oh, the anticipation. It looks like a little figurine, doesn't it? I mean, it would be amazing if it was some kind of very detailed pipe bowl. Or maybe it's a bit of coral. I don't know. What do you think this is? We're shortly going to find out. Whatever is it? I hope it's something. Do you know, I think it's, well, I don't know. Oh look, it's going to be a little figurine. Oh, it would have been it would have been a figurine with two heads on it. It looks like two people, look. Two people with no heads. I wonder if their missing heads are in there somewhere. They have lost their heads. There we are, look. Now, is there anything in here, I wonder? Could there be some heads? I kind of doubt it, to be honest. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. Definitely two people, maybe dancing. But they have lost their heads, and of that there is no doubt. I will have a quick poke around. But yeah, I don't think that their heads are in there. I may have to make some heads. In fact, yeah, that's a little challenge, isn't it? I'll make some heads to go on top of the headless couple so that they can see each other again. Right, now have a look and see if you can see what I've spotted here. I'm sure you will. Now, is this going to be the clay tobacco pipe stem of disappointment, or will there be something on the end? Now, initial tests indicate there could be something on the end of this. Now, if I pull it, nothing's coming out. So, let's have a little extraction and see what's going on underneath here, if anything. Oh, I think we're going to be in luck. We are going to be in luck. This is going to be a nice little extraction. Oh, hey, got a nice long one too. It's just here, look. Woohoo! Look at that. A beautiful pipe extraction. It's been a while. That is very nice. You have to really keep your eyes peeled for bits of stem, bits of bowl. Now, do you know what? Actually, this one isn't any old pipe. This is a Masonic pipe. And that's great because I don't actually have that many long Masonic pipes. Now when it fades, and it should do that overnight really, we'll be able to see a lot more clearly the Masonic symbols on the bowl. I can feel them. That is amazing, and you know what's even more amazing is that it's still intact. It's so delicate, and yet it's been here in this mud for well, over 150 years. And it's pretty much intact. And yes, that is a nice Masonic pipe. And yes, there are initials on that lovely heel. What a treat. What an absolute treat. I wonder who dropped this and who last smoked it. And I wonder if there is some tobacco in the bottom. And the name for the tobacco that could be in the bottom of this pipe is a dottle. And I believe it was Susan who told me that, so thank you very much, Susan. It is my new favourite word, a dottle. Well, I've seen a farm animal down here. I found a sheep here not that long ago, you may remember, called Barbara. And this looks like a cow. Okay, so yeah, a cow in pretty good condition as well. I think that's a cow anyway. It could be, yeah, it is a cow, isn't it? I'm trying to think of a good name for a cow. Okay, it's going to have to be Daisy. Well, Daisy, you can join the other farm animals that I have at home. Still can't quite work out if you're a sheep or a cow. You kind of look a bit like a sheep, but you have kind of muscles like a cow, so I'm going to go with cow. Not amused. Now, I've just seen something down here. Let's see if you can see it. It's just there. Now, it looks like that could be some kind of little skull. Maybe a dog, maybe a fox, maybe a cat. Can you see it there? Just here. I've found quite a few little dog skulls, and so have friends of mine, and we wondered whether they were perhaps little dogs that were kept on ships to chase the rats, like ratty dogs or ratters or whatever you call them. Although, mind you, you'd think they'd have cats for that, wouldn't you? Yeah, it's definitely a skull. The question is, from what animal does it come? It's looking more dog-shaped than cat-shaped, because I do have a cat skull, and the cat skulls are usually a little rounder, or not quite as long. Oh, here we go. I mean, it could be a fox, because you often get them down here. There we are, get it out now. Yes, look, that is definitely a carnivore, and it looks like a dog. Maybe a fox. I'm going to give it a rinse off. I do have a little collection of skulls. I know it's not for everyone, but I do like my skull collection. Got those canines intact there. Of course, I have no idea how old it is. Right, let's give it a rinse. Got a bit of a goose fight going on. They get very territorial. Oh, here comes this one, not too happy. Now, what's he planning on doing? It's going to break up the happy couple. Oh, look, a rejected goose. Don't worry, goose. There's somebody out there for you. Well, today I'm here mudlarking with my friend Carol, and we are in Greenwich. The tide's on the way down. It's going to be a nice low tide. It's so lovely down here. It's really quiet, apart from me speaking, and it's quite early. So, Carol, what are you hoping to find today?
Right, so we have
Pipes?
lead seals, corals,
Okay.
pretty pottery.
Good. Well, I'm sure we're going to find some lovely things. And how long have you been mudlarking?
I think it must be about 8 years now, maybe a bit more.
8 years. Brilliant. Well, we've got a good 1.5 hours, so let's see what we can find, and then we'll meet up in a little while and, yeah, show each other our fabulous finds.
Yeah, exactly.
Spring is in the air. As always, when the tide is on the way out, you get that excited feeling, that anticipation, knowing that you'll find something, but not knowing what, even if it's a button, a pipe. What's that there? Part of a bottle. Some glass. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? Whatever is that? Whatever is that? Actually, it's part of something. It's not glass. Let's give it a little wash off. Let's do it in here. It's some kind of label for something, isn't it? It might not even be terribly old, but National Batteries, London West 12. Find of the day so far. What do you think, geese? They don't think a lot. Now that looks very strenuous for a Sunday morning. What have you seen there, Carol? A spoon. Oh, that looks like quite an old spoon. I mean, not brand new, in other words. Has it got any markings on it? On the other side, where it might come from or something?
I can't see it at the moment, but I'll unfold it.
Lovely. A spoon. We all like a good. I was going to say we all like a good spoon, but that doesn't really come. That doesn't sound too good, does it?
I suppose not.
Right, I've just seen something that looks quite special. It's just down here. Can you see it? I think it's a little watch winder. Look at this. Oh no, it's not. Now that looks like possibly a dress hook. Now isn't that beautiful? Now I'm not sure of the age. It would be amazing if it was Tudor, but I don't know because it's not my forte, but I'm going to check. Now isn't that special? Ooh, that's beautiful. I'm going to have to show Carol. Carol, I've just found something really lovely. Yeah, look. Now, let me put my trowel away. I think this is a little dress hook, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely,
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, is it not one of those book hinges or something?
Is it? Do you think so?
I don't know.
It's got a hook on it, look.
Yeah, something. Oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Ooh, what a treat. What have you got there? Oh, you've got some lovely...
I think it's very old.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, because then it's sort of glazed on that side, so...
That is really nice.
Yeah, not as nice as yours.
I would swap, but that's beautiful though.
It is nice, yeah.
Again, pottery is not my strong point, but that's definitely old.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it, but
We can find out.
yes, yeah, definitely.
Hello, how's your day going? You're looking very lovely. Now I have just seen a coin down here. Is it going to be a modern one or not? Just down here, look. It could be a 2p, in which case it will go in the Thames charity box. Or it could be a halfpenny. Let's have a look. Oh, it is a halfpenny. It is a ship halfpenny. Dating to... is that? Can't quite see the date, but it's going to be King George the 6th. Here's Carol. How are you getting on, Carol?
Not too bad. I found this piece of
Oh,
I don't know if it's Chinese writing.
yeah, it could be part of some kind of votive offering. It looks quite old, doesn't it?
Possibly, yes.
Mystery, isn't it?
Just right.
Very good. Now, just look at all this pottery here. Oh, now this looks like the top of an apothecary bottle. Unfortunately not whole. Let's give it a little rinse off. Yes, look, isn't that lovely? Now, my friend Michel found a whole one of these the other day. I'll see if he'll let me show you a photo of it. Look at that, it's beautiful. How's your morning going? Really? I agree. Carol's about to perform a pipe extraction. Here it is. Oh, there's no stem, but it's a bowl. It's a bowl. That's nice. 1700s pipe. There might be a maker on there as well. No?
No.
Never mind.
It's a shame.
I've just seen a little bit of pottery down here that looks like it might have a little scene on it or something just down there. Let's have a look. See what it is. Ooh, what's that? It looks like a bare bum. Or am I seeing that completely wrong? Probably. Okay, what was that? When it was whole, I thought that bit was a bare bottom, but I don't think it is. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Isn't this perfect? Not to be taken. We're going to have to leave it here then, Carol. We found a lovely little alcove here in the wall, so we are going to place our finds in there and do a little roundup of our treasures from today's low tide. Starting with Carol. Carol, you're going to load up the little alcove.
Bottle here. Take a piece of pipe.
Well, here we are, look, it's like a little natural museum on the banks of the Thames. So Carol, please can you show us what you've found today?
Yeah, first of all I found this bottle, which I think might have been poison. I don't know, it says not to be taken, so I don't know what that would have had in it.
Not to be taken.
Another bottle here, which is just plain. A spoon. This piece of, I think it's bone, which I don't know if it was, I don't know.
It does look like it could have been worked, doesn't it? Because that's what you're thinking. It does look like a little spoon, a bone spoon, like an ancient bone spoon and a more modern spoon.
And some sort of a boat hook of some sort.
This hook here.
Hook, yes.
Yep. This metal here,
Yeah.
which is quite curious, isn't it? Maybe from some kind of religious offering. Little marble. Let's have a look at this. So I wonder what was in that. Is that Lysol? Lysol. Not
It's for head lice.
Not to be taken for head lice. Could be. And I love this lovely piece of pottery, and that's pretty old, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that could definitely be, I think, 17th century or so.
Yeah.
I love it. What a lovely selection. What's your favourite find?
Probably my little bottle.
The little bottle. Yeah, it's lovely. Carol, what is your dream find? What would you love to find?
A nice decorated pipe, maybe Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffalo.
Yeah, an RAOB pipe.
That's right, that would be good. A nice trader's token.
Oh, trader's
That
token.
would be, yeah. Decorated seal, a cloth seal would be nice as well. Nice,
Yeah,
would be good. I found one but not decorated, it's just plain.
yeah. So you've got quite a nice wish list there. Yeah,
Yes.
wonderful. Are you on Instagram?
I am.
You are?
yes.
What's your address? What's your, well, not address, but what's your handle? Twitter? No, Instagram handle. What's your handle?
Chickadee1. So
Chickadee1.
Chickadee, yes, one.
Okay, well, I'll put that up on the screen. So go over and follow Carol and see her finds and see if she manages to find her wish list. Let's have another little look at these. They just look so nice, don't they, in that natural alcove? Very, very pretty. Right, so now I'm going to show you my finds. So here is my display in this lovely little alcove. So I'll just go over them quickly because I'm actually going to go further in depth back at home in my studio, so I'm not going to linger too long. Strange piece of plastic here, national batteries, some lovely pottery, particularly that piece there, which is kind of cool because there were those people rowing past earlier. Vulcanite bottle stopper, a halfpenny, a fragment of bellamine, a beautiful barnacle, the top of an apothecary bottle, and obviously the star find, which I've left till last, which is this, which I'm really hoping is a Tudor dress hook. Da 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 da. So I am very happy with that. What a great morning. Thank you very much for joining me this morning, Carol.
Good, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it was absolutely lovely. And now I'm really hungry. Should we go and get some breakfast? Yes, let's go. So I'll see you back at the studio, everyone, so we can find out a little bit more about that Tudor, I hope it's Tudor, dress hook. Hi everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're in good spirits and that your week is going well. If this is the first time you've watched one of my mudlarking videos, then welcome, and welcome to the magical world of mudlarking, which is essentially searching for historical artefacts in the mud and then finding out as much as we can about the history and the stories associated with them. And if you're a regular viewer, then welcome back, and thank you for sharing this time with me and allowing me now to talk a little bit about the objects which were plucked from the mud over those last two outings along the Foreshore in southeast London, very close to Greenwich. It was a great pleasure to meet up with Carol. And if you'd like to follow Carol on Instagram, her address is chickadee1. Carol has found some really brilliant objects. And you will have heard that she really hoped to find a Royal Antediluvian Order of Buffalo clay pipe bowl in her wish list. And strangely, 2 days after we recorded that video, Carol went on to find one. So well done on that, Carol. It's always brilliant to tick off something on our wish list. So with Greenwich being so associated with some very interesting Tudor history, it was only appropriate that one of my favourite finds of those two outings is indeed Tudor. I was so thrilled to find out that this hook here is indeed a Tudor hook. It's made of copper alloy and is a Tudor dress hook. Thank you very much to Florence Evans, a mudlark and friend, who confirmed that to me. So these were multifunctional, and what I'm going to do is read out to you a little bit about these fasteners from a very, very good book, which I highly recommend you get if you are interested in mudlarking. It features loads of amazing finds by lots of fantastic mudlarks. It's by Jason Sandy and Nick Stevens. And they have a little piece here about these hooks, and there were so many different designs. And these were found by Nick Stevens, who is one of the co-authors of this book. And so what they say is the fasteners were used for a variety of purposes, mainly to hold clothing in place. Tudor women often wore a large neck scarf, and hook fasteners were used to secure the scarf to the garment below. They were also used in pairs to keep a woman's long dress out of the dirt as she walked through the streets. The brass fasteners were often beautifully decorated. So I am very, very happy with this, and I'll be honest, I don't find a lot of Tudor objects, so this was a real delight to find. And of course, being a mudlark, I love to imagine years ago in Tudor times a lady walking across the mud and using this hook to hitch up her skirts and keep her skirts out of the mud. And so what else might have been lost in Tudor times? I thought it was a very good opportunity to dig out a couple of my other favourite Tudor era finds. And firstly, this little tiny clay pipe is probably my oldest pipe. It's absolutely tiny, and this probably comes from the late 16th century, and so almost certainly a Tudor person would have discarded this clay pipe, possibly a woman who was also wearing a Tudor dress hook. But I suppose, if I'm honest, my all-time favourite Tudor find is this absolutely amazing coin, which has on it there Queen Elizabeth I. It's a Queen Elizabeth I silver half a crown. Queen Elizabeth was the last Tudor monarch, and this coin is from 1601. So again, something else that a Tudor person lost all those years ago. And it's always interesting trying to imagine why they were lost and by whom. It really, really does get your imagination going. And because it's all very Tudor today, I got the nearest I could find to glitzy Tudor attire, including my Tudor earrings. Well, not really, but you know, you can kind of imagine Queen Elizabeth I wearing these, can't you? So that's that for the Tudor finds. And so now I'm going to move on to another clay pipe, and it's not Tudor. This clay pipe dates to probably early to mid 19th century. As you can see, the colour has faded nicely now, back to a nice creamy colour. There's no dottle in there, by the way, there's no tobacco, but you can see just there the faded symbols, the Masonic symbols. I mean, they would have been a lot more defined, I expect, back in the 19th century, but they've been in the mud for quite a while. And where I found this, very close to a place where there would have been a lot of people working on ships, I imagine that many of those people were members of a Masonic lodge, probably local Masonic lodges. And I do have quite a large collection of clay pipe bowls with lots and lots of different Masonic symbols on them. So they're always nice to find. And it's lovely to find a pipe like this with a bit of length to the stem. So let's talk about my skull collection. I realised today that I actually have quite a large skull collection, and I know that's not for everyone, but there is something rather beautiful about them. Now this is the one which came out of the mud in Greenwich. It's got rather a large kind of hole there, so I hope that doesn't indicate how this poor creature could have died. Now I believe it to be a dog rather than a fox. I do have a little fox skull, and I think this is too large for a fox, but I'm no skull expert, so if you want to correct me on that, feel free. I also think that it's quite an aged dog because the teeth are really worn down. So I do have a few skulls very similar to that. But talking of the theory of dogs on ships to chase rats, I don't know if that is where this dog skull came from. This is another dog skull which I found some time ago. And on this particular stretch of foreshore, there have been a few of these found. And I'm not sure what dog this is. It's a lot smaller than, let's say, that kind of skull. And so could it be from a little dog that was on a ship, maybe to hunt down the rats? Don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Anybody know? And I mentioned cat skulls as well. I do happen to have one here, and you can see how different it is compared to the dogs with the long snouts there. So yeah. Very nice collection of skulls here next to me on the table. I also have some bird skulls, and they are a marvel of nature, aren't they, when you see them like that? So moving on from skulls, something else which could have been discarded during the Tudor times was that lovely piece of pottery that Carol found. And actually I found in my collection some which is very, very similar, and I've got a few pieces. And indeed, this could well have come from Tudor times as well. According to Richard Hemery's book, if you're interested in found pottery and you want to identify any that you find, particularly on the Thames, this is the book by Richard Hemery. You can, sorry about the glare there, you can actually buy it on eBay as a PDF, and he goes through every kind of pottery. And he mentions this very type of pottery, which has been thumbed by the potter, which is a common feature on 16th and 17th century pots, as you can see there. And there is something quite magical about finding a piece of pottery with the potter's fingerprints in and then putting your own thumb in there. It's a real link to the past, a real connection to those people from hundreds of years ago who made this pottery. It's quite amazing, really, isn't it? So if we stay on the theme of pottery, I did find a couple of really nice bits. Now this little bit here, I have no idea why I thought it was a bare bottom on there. Don't know what that says about me, but of course it's not, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I will put a picture up so that you can have a look at it. And if you know what it might be, I think that's a person's arm actually, and if you know what they might be up to, then yeah, please let me know. Or maybe you even know what the whole design is. That would be excellent. Talking of puzzles, here is one of the more recent finds, definitely not Tudor, but I'm curious about it all the same. I do like a good puzzle. It's obviously something from National Batteries, London West 12, but I can't find out what it would have come from. That's the other side. Maybe a battery, I don't know. There's got to be some of you out there who are experts on this kind of thing. So if you can just fill in the missing words there and let me know what this comes from, then that would be excellent. I would love to know. Thank you. Oh, the last puzzle I've got. I was going to share this with you on my video, but unfortunately my camera misfunctioned. I really need to get a new camera. I filmed myself finding this beautiful piece of pottery here, and I'd love to know what these guys are up to. Do you know? If so, please let me know in the comments below. I found a really lovely delicate neck of a 17th century apothecary bottle just here. And I mentioned that my friend Michael, who is also on Instagram, I'll put his address here. Michael has found some amazing objects in the Thames mud. He just really has a knack for that. And he recently found an entire 17th century apothecary bottle, and so I'm putting the photographs up. And also, so did Jason Sandy, who has recently written an article all about bottles in Beachcombing magazine, and there is this beautiful picture there of an apothecary bottle, and in this article Jason sort of muses over where his found apothecary bottle might have come from and what might have been in it. I'll just read you a little bit. Jason says, "I can imagine that they could have been dropped from a ship before or after a long journey on the open sea. In the 18th century, glass bottles were often used to store medicines until they were needed during a long voyage. And what could have been in them? Well, according to the inventory of a sea surgeon's medical chest, these bottles were used to store oils, balsams, juices, dried seeds, powders, smelling salts, minerals, preserves, distilled waters, syrups, decoctions, cinnamon, cloves, maces, nutmegs, loads and loads of stuff, basically. We will never know what was in this little bottle. And I do have a little collection of the necks. They're just so delicate, really lovely to find. But again, it's food for the imagination to imagine what was in these and who dropped them. What else have I got here? Oh, well, my lead cow. Not a lot to say about the lead cow, really. I had thought he could have been a sheep because his face looks a little bit sheep-like. But I suppose if you'd have been washing around in the Thames for the last 80 to 100 years, you might also look like that. Also, he could be a bull. So maybe Daisy wasn't the right name for him. But whether or not it's a bull or a cow, years and years ago, some child, maybe in Victorian times or early 1900s, lost this or threw it in the River Thames. And now I have got it. So the last little object here, which I'm going to share with you, which I'm sure you're dying to hear about, is the little figurine which I found, which it was really hard to work out what they were doing, actually. A couple of dancers with no heads. And so I couldn't let them carry on without any heads. It was high time they saw each other again. And so I have managed to put together a little, a little bit of a reconstruction here. Now, it's not my forte to do sculpting in miniature figurines, but at least they can see each other again and look. Don't they look delighted? I wasn't quite sure what was going on down in the leg department, so I had to sort of use my imagination there. Let's hope they're not saying to each other that they looked a lot better without their new heads. That's a bit of fun anyway. Isn't it incredible what ends up being lost in the Thames? lost and discarded over the years, hundreds of years ago, well, right up to modern day. I've been working on a little artwork actually, which I'm calling the Lost Purse. And it's here, it's made with repurposed wood, an old bit of box, and it's on some Thames driftwood. And this purse here, which is made up out of some metal which I found, and part of a purse I found, and then just some of the objects which have been lost from that purse and found in the River Thames. So I'm working on that at the moment, and I'm really pleased with it actually. And at some point it will make its way onto my Ko-fi shop, hopefully within the next couple of weeks or so. I just need to sort of fine-tune it a little bit, but it's called the Lost Purse, and everything on it has been found in the River Thames. I think, like many other people who search the Thames, it does really inspire you creatively, and it's something I really enjoy, using some of the objects I find, not obviously the really historically significant ones, but using some of the objects that I find in artworks to give them a new life. In fact, I am going to show you another one. So I'm making a little range of little pipe birds on Thames driftwood. So there's some there, and I'm going to be making a few more of these. I'm really pleased with that. And I also like to use sort of reclaimed wood, everything recycled and repurposed as much as possible. So that's what's going on, that's what I've been doing this week, and I've really been enjoying myself. So thank you very much again for watching, everyone. I hope you go on to have a very, very good week. Thank you for your comments on my previous videos, and thank you to everybody who has donated to my Ko-fi account. I really and truly appreciate it. A huge thank you. And thank you for being you. That is the main thing. I'm very, very grateful to you all for being such a fantastic community. So I'm really looking forward to being back very soon with some more mudlarking adventures. And in the meantime, you take care, stay safe, be happy, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, so here is my squirrel. Hello, squirrel. Are you ready for a nut? Are you ready for a little nut? Should we find you a nice nut in here? Come on then, come on. Ready?